car accidents, wrecks, crashes, whatever you call them. The result is people get hurt. I'm Ed Bernstein. If you've been hurt in an accident, call me.
Turn to someone you can trust. Enough said. Call Ed.
Well, stay tuned, because in a few minutes we're going to show you how this product, which costs less than $100, can save you thousands of dollars in expenses if somebody breaking into your house, and protect you and your family from those kind of break-ins. And with me is Alan Young, who is the inventor of this product, which is called Easy Armor.
That's right.
Easy Armor.
That's right.
Now, how did you, before we have some video to show how this product works, but essentially, what motivated you to create the product?
Basically, you know, I tell everybody all the time, I'm not an ex-handyman or a contractor. I'm an ex-investment banker. Did investment banking for a while, decided that it wasn't really what I wanted to do after about 8 years. Was flipping properties, and people kept kicking in the doors on our properties. And it was costing us a fortune. We went out and tried every way that we could think of to stop people from kicking in our doors and breaking into our properties, and nothing worked. So my brother, who is an engineer by trade, actually came up with the idea of how to, you know, best reinforce a door to stop someone from kicking it in. And you know, we ended up, you know, fitting one piece. It worked well. Other parts on the door broke. We fixed those parts, and then other parts broke. And then after a bunch of trial and error and a lot of testing, we really came up with some solutions that you couldn't break, and that was back about 6 years ago. And then we you know, started going into distribution. Never really intended to sell anything. We didn't really invent this to sell it. We just wanted to stop people from kicking in our houses, because it was really costing us a fortune with people kicking in the doors and stealing pipes and appliances and cabinets and anything they could get their hands on. So it's very effective for us. We thought that, you know, other people might have a need for it as well, and that's been the case.
Now, I assume that one of the more common ways of breaking into a property is either kicking in the door or kicking or going through a window, I guess, right?
That's right.
And so that's why you see so many homes with bars and covering the doors.
Right.
And now, this product. Well, maybe I should show the video and show how the product works.
Okay. Yeah,
okay.
I think that
Let's take a look
sense.
at the Easy Armor video.
Our kicks were no match for the door jam armor, which is why it easily passed our doesn't work test, but we decided to kick it up a notch. What you have in your hands, this is something that a police department, an actual police department, uses to get through doors.
Right. This is something that the local authorities might use to come in when it's necessary, and borrowed this, and I think that we all think that this is going to at least have a different result in your foot. We're not exactly sure what's going to happen, but
So we locked?
door's locked.
You're loaded?
Still secure.
Let's go.
Don't try this at home.
You've had some training. You know how to work this
I
thing.
think so. So I'm going to try to hit it right there. Okay, so here we go. We've broken the door, but the door jam armor is held.
Amazing! The door jam armor doesn't claim to stop that kind of forceful impact, but it sure did. Now, you have 10 customers on the other side of this door ready to sign the deal and buy a home.
All right,
but
let's
the
do
only
it.
way you can get it is if you get through this door.
Oh, it's going to be a bad day. It's not going to break.
Finally, after several minutes of wailing away with the battering ram, the door itself cracks. Mark decides to finish the job.
Hello.
We bust through that strong fiberglass door, but despite this serious punishment,
The door jam armor is really barely damaged.
now that's impressive.
Now, I should say, this was a clip from a news program that was testing which products worked and which products didn't.
Exactly.
And obviously, your product won.
I mean, I got a call on Tuesday night from the anchor telling me that they had done the test and that they were airing the show on Thursday. So we had absolutely nothing to do with it.
Right.
Of course, my response was, well, how did it do? And, you know, he told me what they did. We'd never claimed that we could stand up to a battering ram. And he said that they did that, and, you know, he said they've tested hundreds of products. You know, most of them do some portion of what the manufacturer says. He said he's never actually tested a product that did this much more than the manufacturer claimed. And then that's what we try to do.
Right, because the weakest part is typically the hardware on the door or the frame, right?
Oh, absolutely. But the one thing a lot of people don't realize is there's other things out there that will reinforce just that lock part of the door jamb.
Right.
The problem is if you just reinforce one part of the door, then other parts break. And that's what I was telling you we found out early on. So if you just reinforce that part, then the lock area on the door will split the door in half. And if you just reinforce those two parts, then you can break the hinge. Someone can just take a step over and kick the hinges off. We learned all that the hard way, which is why we sell everything as a kit, and that's how.
Because we don't normally we don't at all sell products on this show, but we're just for as a public service, we're letting people know what they can do to protect their home.
Yeah.
Now you sell this product, you can buy it at Lowe's or on your internet site or any good hardware or national hardware store.
That's right.
And it's how much is it?
$69.
$69.
Yeah, $69 is the retail price.
And
you can the average person can install it themselves in about 30 minutes.
Can you demonstrate how you install this?
So, this is what typically happens when a when a door is kicked in. All right, you get someone comes, kicks in the door. Your deadbolt just splits this part of the jamb out. Right. So what Easy Armor does,
and they're typically wood. These frames
typically
are wood.
This is all that's really standing between the outside of your house and an intruder, and the inside of your house for an intruder, and that's why people don't think about doors being kicked in. 85% of break-ins are through a door because that's all that's really keeping people out. So about 10 seconds, 1 to 2 kicks, this is what your door looks like. They're inside of your house. So what Easy Armor does is either after a kick or before, hopefully, you can put this on to repair that damage and make sure they're not going to get kicked in. It's not going to get kicked in again. Or you can put it on before to help prevent the kick in. And what you do is you just knock these holes out right here for the top and the bottom lock.
And this is made out of
screw it in. So it's made out of steel.
Out of steel, right?
It's made out of steel. You don't have to take off any casing or anything, and it'll take you about 30 minutes to put on. But again, this is the most important part right here. The second part that is equally as important is this piece right here, which actually goes over the lock area on the door.
Right.
So over your top and bottom lock, over your deadbolt, and over your doorknob. Very important. If you don't use this, the deadbolt's just going to split the door in half.
Right.
If the door is kicked. So again, you don't even need to take the door knob or deadbolt off to install this. Mm-hmm. And then the third part, which is a little more difficult to explain generally, is this piece right here, which goes over the hinges. So if your hinge is right here, it just goes right over top of the hinge. You're going to take one of the screws out of your hinge and screw with 3.5-inch screws. This set comes with 17 3.5-inch screws. So you're attaching everything to the frame. You're going to screw through here, and basically you're redistributing the force of a kick to the hinges as well. So the door is not going to be kicked off of the hinges. And once you have all 3 of those parts, it's just really effective.
And it all comes in the
it all comes in that kit, $69, and it'll take you, with all the pieces, about 30 minutes to put on.
Wow, terrific. Now, in Las Vegas, we have, most people have front doors that look like this, but a great number of people have sliding doors in the back.
Yes.
And, those things, they get loose, you can, sometimes people put broomsticks or something in the track to keep, hold the door. I mean, you have a product also for sliding doors?
Yeah, and this is, we get asked that question a lot, actually. The 2 more common ways for someone to get into a house are you're going to kick in a door, or you're going to actually lift a sliding door off of the track. And that is really something that a lot of people don't think about. I mean, when people think of sliding doors, they think someone's going to take a rock and throw it through the glass. Right. If you have neighbors, the first thing that does is alert all of your neighbors that something's happening. People will also take people also take a broomstick and put it in the track to help the door from being slid back. The problem is most thieves will take either a crowbar and just lift the door off the track, which means that the broomstick is worthless.
That's simple.
Yeah, or you can just take your hands, you can do this at home. Take your hands and push really hard up and in on a sliding glass door, and you can lift most of them off the track.
Oh, wow.
So what this is, it's a little product called Easy Armor. Again, $29. This is on our website. This attaches to the face of the door. This attaches to the track of the door, and when you close the door, you open and close the door. When you close the door, you lock up, you lock down, and then it's going to prevent the door from being lifted off the track.
Also made of steel.
Also
with,
made, this is actually made of aluminum.
Okay.
Made of aluminum, but these you have long screws going into the track, into the frame of the house. And
Right. So therefore, you cannot lift up.
Exactly.
The door at all.
Exactly.
Oh,
So, and again, our philosophy on home security is really simple. It does not need to cost a lot. It just needs to work. And none of our products are really over $100. All of them can be installed by the average do-it-yourselfer. We have some that are really more designed for contractors. But at the end of the day, we just want folks that need the product to be able to afford and to be able to use them. So that's really important to us.
So the concept, I guess, is when you talk to the police, they'll say, "Hey, secure your house. Just make somebody go to the next house.
That's right.
Just don't make your house an easy target."
That's right.
Yes.
Yes.
And this is the same idea.
It really is, and there's a couple of things that I really like to stress when talking to people about security. And I do a lot of discussions about securing your home. One is you're not trying to make your house a fortress. You're trying to make your house a more difficult target and a less attractive target than all the houses around you. The old saying, if you and I are being chased by a dog, I really don't have to be faster than the dog. That's the way you want to approach your own security, and it's really something that a lot of people don't think about. It doesn't need to cost a lot. You just need to make sure that your house is more difficult than your neighbor's house.
And what about alarms? Obviously, is another layer of protection.
Yeah. So alarms. I'm a big proponent of alarm systems. The one thing that people need to understand about alarms, and I tell this to everybody, is an alarm does nothing to stop someone from breaking into your house. So the biggest misconception about alarm systems is that alarms are actually prevention. An alarm is detection. Now, there's a lot of great things about alarms. They have the smoke detection, and if someone does get into your house, then you, of course, want to know, and it's going to limit the amount of time that someone spends in your house. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure that, it's like being in a car. You're not going to trust, your ability to survive a car accident to having OnStar in your car. OnStar alerts the police that you've been into an accident.
Right. You want airbags and protection.
Exactly. Yeah. But you fasten your seat belts. You have the airbags, and that's really what we are. We're the seat belts and the airbags. We're the the things that will help stop you from getting injured. And then in the event that someone is able to penetrate, then you have the alarm system. But don't get into the false sense of security that an alarm is going to stop someone. Deterrence, potentially, but if someone decides to break in, the average time for the police to respond to a home alarm system is generally more than 20 minutes. The average time that it takes a thief to get in and out of your house is less than 5 minutes. So, typical MO for a thief is they're going to kick your door in. That's 10 seconds. They're going to run in to your bedroom. They're going to, take whatever jewelry, whatever money you have.
Right.
They're going to, find any laptops, anything that they can get their hands on in 3 to 5 minutes, and they're going to be gone. While they're in the house, they're going to be taking a mental inventory of, everything else that you have, so that they can come back. Because one of the frightening statistics about burglary is a home that's been broken into is more than 4 times more likely to be broken into again. And that's because they know what you have.
Right.
They know you have insurance, so you're going to replace the things that they stole the first time, so they can come back and get new stuff the next time. And they've taken a mental inventory of the other stuff that you have that they didn't take the last time. So, again, 3 to 5 minutes, they're looking around to see what else you have, and then they're going to come back.
Are there certain types of locks that you recommend?
You know what? I will recommend any grade 1 deadbolt.
Grade 1 deadbolt.
And you can now, grade 1 deadbolts used to be really expensive and only available through locksmiths. The best deadbolt out there, in my opinion, is multi-lock. Somewhat expensive, but you can go to a Lowe's store now and get a grade 1 deadbolt for under $40. And what it does is it has a thicker throw on the deadbolt. It's a little bit longer, and it has, you know, advanced pick protection and other things along that line.
Now, the other area that people want to protect are windows. Do you have any suggestions on windows?
Yeah, and again, one of the big misconceptions about burglary and theft is that if I protect my doors, people are just going to break my windows. Again, what we found is in the vast majority of cases, if someone can't get in using the method that they want to, they're going to go somewhere else. Now, if they do decide to break a window, they're not going to try to come in through the window that they break. These break windows to reach their hand in, unlock the latch, and slide the window open. So if you can prevent the window from sliding open, then ultimately what you do is you make it you greatly reduce the chance that a thief is going to be able to get into the house. So on our website, armorconcepts.com, we actually outline a technique that's called pinning a window. And for any, you know, double hung window that just slides up and down, you know, you can take a drill. It'll take you about 5 minutes per window and 2 penny nails. Take a drill. You drill the holes into the windowsill about 2 inches above where the window opens, and you insert nails into those holes. Drill the holes big enough so that the nails can easily come out. But what that's going to do is, during the summertime, it'll allow you to open the window wide enough so that you can get some ventilation if that's what you want to do. But more importantly, if someone breaks the window and tries to reach in and slide it up, they're not going to be able to. And from the outside, you're really not able to see it, so they don't know what's holding the window back. So the chance of them, again, trying to break out the entire pane of glass and crawl through, risking getting cut, is very low. And that's something that'll cost you, you know, the price of a box of nails, a couple dollars.
You know, some of these doors, front doors, have those little windows in them.
The side lights.
They're called. So you can break that and potentially reach down. But if you buy the right type of deadbolts, then you won't be able to open it.
Yeah, if you have especially a front door that's got windows, either on a side light or on the door itself, you want to make sure that you have a double-sided deadbolt. And what that is, that's just a deadbolt that locks from the inside with a key.
Without leaving the key in the deadbolt.
Well, without leaving, don't leave the key in it, and don't, you know, hang the key right by the door where people can see it. And make sure that you don't do that on all of your doors. Make sure that you have some doors in your house that you can get out of in case of an emergency where, you know, you can't find a key. So that's the big safety.
What about leaving your lights on or off while you're gone?
Yeah, there's a couple of tips that I like to give. I like to give everyone on home security. One, in terms of making your house a less attractive target, and I'm going to answer your question here real quickly. The most important thing is, don't tell everyone when you're going out of town. The holidays are coming around. Don't post your holiday plans on Facebook. Don't post your travel plans on Facebook.
It's a big problem because, I mean, you see that all the time, whether it's your kids or other family members or friends. Hey, I'm heading into Bermuda, and the whole world knows that you're out.
That's right, because with Facebook, you don't know who knows the people that you know, and your business goes out there to everybody. So if you want to increase the chances greatly that your house is a target, you know, tell everybody that you're going to Bermuda on your Facebook page. Along with that, don't post your vacation photos while you're on vacation. I see that all the time. People will post there, yeah, I'm in Bermuda here, look at me and the kids. You know, our house is empty, go rob it. And that's basically what you're telling folks.
Wait till you get home to post those photos.
Exactly, because you got to understand that your circle of quote-unquote friends on Facebook, you know, can really, you know, includes people that you don't know that well. And a lot of burglaries happen, you know, are committed by people that either we know or by people who know people we know. So it's not so much a matter of maybe your friends knowing, but it's their friends knowing, and, you know, you don't know who they are. And that's the same thing for your kids. If you're going away, make sure that you don't do it. Make sure your kids aren't doing it as well. Make sure your kids aren't posting it to their friends, because a lot of burglaries that are happening today, especially in rural areas, are happening by, you know, friends of your kids' friends. I mean, you just don't know, you know, who are the people your kids know, and it's very important not to do that.
Do you advocate those lights going on timers? And,
Yeah, so again, answering your question now, you know, on that same thing, anything you can do to make it appear that your home is going to be very effective. Now, a lot of people think that, you know, thieves are going to case your home for weeks, or, you know, most burglaries being committed today are not being committed by professional thieves. So I advocate, you know, if you're going away, put your lights on a timer. Make sure that the outside of your house is well lit. You know, thieves don't like being seen, and thieves don't want to risk being caught. So make sure that the outside of your house is well lit. Make sure that, you know, if you can put those lights on a timer so that they're coming on and off, you know, when you'd normally be home. Definitely do that as well. And leave some lights on. I mean, even leave a TV or a radio on. I mean, those are things that help. Anything you can do to make it appear like your home, to, again, make your home a less attractive target, because there's a lot of people that are going to be traveling. And, you know, if your neighbor's lights are off and yours are on, they're going to go to your neighbor's house. Again, it just goes to the fact of, you know, making your house a less attractive target. You know, cut any shrubs. Not really a huge problem out here in Las Vegas, but I always tell people, don't, you know, surround your doors and windows with shrubs where people can hide as they're trying to get in. Fences, you know, if you have high fences where people can come in and hide doing what they're doing, that's probably not a great thing for your home security. Again, anything you can put in place that will make an intruder believe that they're going to be seen, or that they're going to come into a situation where someone's home is definitely going to be beneficial to you.
Yeah. I would think, you know, getting your mail picked up so
Yeah,
it doesn't
absolutely.
accumulate.
Yes.
Make sure your newspapers don't accumulate.
Exactly.
You know, that's always been, a thought that I've had. You know, on one hand, you don't want your newspapers to pile up. On the other hand, you really want to tell the newspaper carriers that you're out of town.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So,
Ask a friend to pick them up.
you want to make sure that you tell one or two people that you're going out of town. Tell, you know, a close friend, tell a neighbor that you're going out of town. Because even sometimes when you go to the post office and say discontinue my mail, when you call the newspaper and say, you know, discontinue this while we're out of town, they'll still deliver. You know,
Right.
People make mistakes. So you want to make sure that you have some form of backup, you know, in the event that someone makes a mistake, so that you don't have a week's worth of newspapers on your porch.
All great tips. You know, this product, it seems to me, would work really well, particularly in apartments.
Yes.
Because they seem to be
Yes.
built a little bit cheaper.
Yes.
Right? The wood is not as thick, the protection is not as great, and you know, typically that's how people get into apartments. I mean, I don't think most of us understand how easy it is to kick a door in.
You know, an average 12-year-old can kick in the front door on most homes. You know, and it's really frightening, but you see what's really holding that deadbolt in place. And a lot of locksmiths for years will try to sell you a better lock without selling you anything that's going to actually help that lock work. Basically what we do is we help a lock work. All right, I mean, that's really what the Easy Armor does. But in terms of the apartments, you know, with one way to get in and out of most apartments, people kick in doors often. And frankly, we find that apartments, you know, apartments use our product just as much, because people forget their keys when kicking doors, because that's the easiest way to get in. You know, you have domestic disputes where, you know, husband gets locked out and can't get in, they kick in the door. And, you know, this just saves them money.
Yeah, you know,
So,
I'm smiling because
Yeah.
I was remembering an episode of, like, you watch some of these old episodes of Seinfeld, and you
Yeah.
have these New York apartments with these people with, you know,
Yeah,
6, 7,
that's right.
8 deadbolts, you know,
Yeah.
going up and down,
Yeah.
but you can still just kick in the door.
Yeah, now if you have a high-rise apartment, most of the time, a lot of the times you'll have a steel jam.
Right.
But those were older apartments, so probably not. And a lot of people will today, you know, have multiple deadbolts, and they don't really understand the fact that, you know, their deadbolt, you know, all 4 of them are going into the same soft frame.
Right.
So instead of really addressing the problem, which is the strength of the frame, they're trying to look for other ways and spending, frankly, a whole lot more money in doing it.
Well, you know, all right, so we can buy this. Let me pick this thing up here for you so I can show it again. Because it's such a...
It's upside down.
It's such an easy thing to install that I could probably install it myself, because I'm not very handy with these things. And it's rather reasonably priced for what you get, for the peace of mind that you get. You know, to spend, what is it, $69 bucks to get the kit.
Especially if you have vacation homes. If you have a home that you're not in a lot, you know, getting an alarm when you're in a different state doesn't really help you do a whole lot. Again, for $69, you can, you know, protect, you know, the home, you know, while you're not there.
Right. So if you don't like those unsightly bars on your door or on your windows,
exactly.
Easy Armor has answers for your doors, for the windows, for the
sliding glass doors.
The sliding glass doors.
That's right.
Amazing. And this works. How does this work with French, you know, double
we have,
doors,
again, on our website, armorconcepts.com, we have double door solutions as well. We have double door solutions. We have solutions for doors with side lights because that's a different application. And again, we have different colors. If aesthetics are an issue, you don't want the white door, the white piece on a mahogany door. You know, we have satin nickel and oil rub bronze pieces to make them look nicer. And, you know, people don't want... I mean, you don't have to make your house look like a fortress to be secure. I mean, we really try to make sure that, you know, anything that we sell, you know, looks as nice as possible and takes away from the look of the door as little as possible.
Well, it's amazing how sometimes the simple ideas are the best ideas. And Alan Young, you've done taken a very simple idea, but a complicated problem and an important problem, and made it easy to fix. So, the name of the product is Easy Armor, and you know, listen to what this man says. He has some good ideas on how to keep you and your family safe. And we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Be sure to visit us online for more information about today's guests, to see past shows, or even contact us about being on the show. Simply go to theedbernsteinshow.com. That's theedbernsteinshow.com.
Hard work has built this city. If you've been hurt at work, do you know that you can choose your own doctor? Call me, even if you received a PPD rating. I'll protect your workers' compensation rights.
Turn to someone you can trust. Enough said. Call Ed.